Hey everybody, good evening, good evening. This is Tara with Tara Beth Stamps. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in mid-Missouri. That's kind of a little crooked, but we're gonna make it do. Thanks for joining me tonight. Hey everybody, good evening, good evening. Just making sure I've got everything. Oh, I've got all sorts of stuff going off. Hey, so this is Tara, and I'm going to do a card using one of the new bundles. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining me. Hey, Rosie, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, guys. So I'm going to use one of the new bundles that are available in the new Stampin' Up! Annual catalog. So this is the Sweet Cherries bundle. So you get this adorable stamp set with the cutest cherries I think I've ever seen, as well as the Cherry Builder Punch. So this is a great set. Hey Susan, thanks for joining me. This is a great set for beginners. So anybody that hasn't really stamped a lot and doesn't have a lot of supplies, this makes super cute birthday cards, thank you cards, just everyday, you know, lifting up your friends cards. So fun to use. Hey Lori, thanks for joining me. So this is the simple card that we're making today. What I did was, I was out of town this weekend, so I came home and I was like, I gotta get something ready. So, I just looked for a sketch, on Pinterest, and I found a sketch that gave kind of the dimensions of this, and I found the Happy Forest Friends DSP, and I thought this paper would go really great with the cherry set. So I pulled it out and started getting it ready. So let's get busy. Okay, so basically what I have, all these dimensions will be available on my blog tomorrow at Tara Beth Stamps. And I've got some Poppy Parade. I've got some Night of Navy that I'm just going to mat together. I'm going to add this cute Forest Friends DSP along there and just kind of set that there and glue it. So first thing we're going to do is do a little bit of stamping, and hopefully I can do things semi, so I'm not repeating myself so much. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this basket weave, or that's what I think it is, and I'm going to ink it up with some soft suede, and I have a little bit of crumb cake. Ooh, it looks like I'm going to have to do it this way. And I'm just going to ink it up really good. And because this is a photopolymer set, you should be able to line it up so that it is going to match. There we go. Okay, so that's all we need for our basket weave. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp these adorable cherries on a piece of Very Vanilla, and I've got some Poppy Parade that we're going to do with that. So what I do when I have these builder punches is I just cut a strip that's going to fit in right there with that punch. So I have a small, I think it's like 1 1/4 inch on that, and I'm going to just stamp that cherry on both sides. That way I'm not wasting a bunch of paper by punching out stuff that I don't need. All right. So this is with that Poppy Parade ink. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to pull my envelope out and go ahead and get it inked up. Put that cherry just right there on the corner. We'll set that back there. And then here is a Very Vanilla mat that we're going to put on the inside. So we're just kind of doing assembly line work here. So there's our cherry. We're done with that one. Get the Poppy Parade ink out of the way before I make a mess. Hey Karen, thanks for joining me. I'm glad you could finally make it. I appreciate you coming. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our stems. So once again, I just have a small section, and this one I kind of have to punch and ink at the same time because otherwise it will I'll run out of paper, or it'll punch where I need it to be. So what I do is I'm looking at my punch, and this is how the leaf is oriented. So I'm just gonna do that. And then I'm gonna give it a punch. You can line it up right there. Okay. Then we're gonna give it another punch. I'm gonna turn that back around. Looks like we can go ahead and do 3 here. So go ahead and do 3 of those. And actually I'm gonna snip that off. It doesn't like to feed through if you've got too much going on there. So I'm gonna punch that one. I left it in there, and I'm gonna punch the last one. All right, there we go. So once again, I'm gonna bring in my chair. Actually, I'm gonna do my stems next, and then I'll have to come back. I knew I wasn't gonna have it all right there. Okay, so I've got that soft suede, and you just look there. Oh, and you put a little leaf on that one. We'll fix that with a little eraser there when we get done. All right, so there's that. And now I'm going to add just a leaf here and there. We'll do it right there. That's brown. That's what happens when you're not paying attention. See what we can do here. See if we can line that up with the green. We'll do it again, see if we can make it super green. There we go. Perfect. All right, we'll do that on the corner. There's no mistakes when you're making a card, just happy accidents, right? Okay. So let's see here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, since we're inking up, I'm gonna add the sentiment. And what I'm using is, I am using Wishing You a Very Happiness This Special Day Will Bring, from the Peaceful Moments set. If you don't have that, that is a fantastic sentiment step that has all sorts of fantastic sentiments that go well with all of your cards. All right, yeah, we won't say it looks perfect here, and we'll say it'll do. All right, so honestly, that's going to be the bulk of our card. We'll go ahead and punch out our cherries. And then we will go to assembling, and you can see how quick this card goes together. Okay, we'll throw that out of the way. All right, so we have our cherries. We have some leaves. Oh, and I didn't do a stem. Let's do a stem real quick while we're thinking about it. An embellishment, the only thing is an embellishment can't really go on the outside of the envelope, so we'll have to figure out something else with that, Karen, but good idea. Yes, I've set many an envelope or an embellishment in that imperfect spot. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna feed this through, and it looks like I've cut that page a little short. So I'm just gonna take a Post-it note and stick it right there. That's gonna give me a little bit of a handle when I'm using a scrap. So make sure you always have your Post-it notes close. These stems are so small. And I'm wearing my glasses today because the allergies here in mid-Missouri are ridiculous. Ridiculous. We went to Iowa for a wedding, and I feel like there's glass in my eyes. Okay. So, as I said, I've got a piece of Poppy Parade that we're just going to put a little bit of liquid adhesive on the outside of the Night of Navy that we're going to mat up here. Give it just a little burnish there. We're going to add some DSP here to the side. There we go. I'm going to add our basket weave that we created. I'm just going to put it right there on the side. I think that's a little too high, so I'm going to pull it down a little bit. Just making sure I've got my edges covered there. All right. I have a die-cutted piece of old olive. This is using the Stylish Shapes dies. This is a standalone die. This is a must-have for any crafter that does any die cutting, in my opinion. And we're just going to set that right there. Then I'm going to take my cherries and use some dimensionals once I find them. There we go. So I've got some dimensionals cut in half here. And you've heard me say before, I like the halves because they allow you to slide things in behind them. We're not doing that today, but you can definitely slide things in a little bit better. So on this one, I have my glue dot, and I am going to fold it in half and set it right here at the top. This is so I can add those cherry stems, and it gives it just a little bit of bump to that cherry stem so that it's not, oh, wait a minute, I want it on the front. That's right. All right, so here we go. So now that gives that cherry stem just a little bit of dimension, but not as much as a dimensional would. All right, there we go. And, oh, I only made one cherry stem. That's why I can't find the other one. It's a good thing I have all this random berry vanilla sitting around my workspace. So once again, we'll just ink that up. And give it one last punch. I'm going to use that Post-it note again. Okay, here we go. And set that right there. All right, so we have the dimensionals behind our cherries. I'm gonna set one there, and then we'll set another one just kind of on top. There we go. All right. I have a tag that I made using that Stylish Shape punches again. That's perfect for the birthday wishes sentiment. And we're going to use a little bit of Night and Navy. And we'll stamp that on there. Hopefully I can get that centered pretty well. And I am going to add a dimensional just to one side because I'm going to layer this right there. And so I'm just going to add liquid adhesive right here to this back side. Okay. You can see I used scraps that I didn't like for those pieces. All right, there we go. The only thing we have left is adding a couple of embellishments. So I'm going to add a pearl there, and then one a little further down. Then we'll add just a larger one, if I can get it off, right there. Okay. I have a soft suede base here that I have. 4¼ by 11, scored at 5½, and I've already scored that, so we're just gonna fold that in half and burnish it really well. I've got some liquid adhesive that we're gonna add. That way if it's off center or anything, I can put it exactly where I want it to go. Here we are. Okay, so I've created those edges that I like. And then we've got the inside already stamped and ready to go. We'll put that on the inside, creating just a nice edge on all of that. So then all we have left is just adding this one little piece of DSP to the back of our envelope that already has our cherry stamped on the front. So this is a very vanilla envelope. Then I'm going to add some of the Forest Friends DSP, Happy Forest Friends DSP. Rub that down, give it a quick snip. And so this was a quick card that you can throw together in just 10 or 15 minutes. The dimensions, as I said, will be on my blog. If you've got any questions, just shoot me an email. I'll be glad to answer anything over the phone. I hope you love this set as much as I do. I have a feeling you'll be seeing quite a bit of it because it is super fun. That and the songbirds both. I am just loving them. So, all right. So that's today's card. Oh, I didn't put my leaves on. Ah! What was I thinking? Thanks, Rosie. I'm glad you liked it. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Okay, so these leaves are just going to go on. I'm just going to do a couple of them, and they're going on with dimensionals as well. So you just kind of find a spot that you like and set one there. Because I'm a weird person and I like that power of 3, I think I'm going to do 3 of them. I may just do 2. We'll see how many I've got punched out here. I'm going to put that one down there since the punch wasn't exactly perfect and there's a little bit more of a white or an edge on that one. So I kind of just layered that underneath there. And then I'm going to add that 3rd one. There we go. All right, so there we go. Now we've got the card done. Thanks so much for popping by. I appreciate all of your comments and questions. If there's anything I can do, let me reach out and I'd be glad to help you. You have an amazing week. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.